Alright guys, welcome. In this video we're going to be talking about mindset and lifestyle. I'm going to keep it quite simple because I already know that I've put so much into this program that it can be overwhelming. Being Asperger's, I can tend to info dump. And so what can happen, this is another obstacle, what can happen is I give you so much information, you're like, overwhelmed. I don't know what to do with all this information. I don't know where to start. The bulk of this program is going to come down to you moving more, doing your sessions, and working on the nutrition side of things. We do those three things, you're going to get some form of result, okay? The quicker you do them, the faster the result will come. So all I want to say in this video is sort of explain what I mean by mindset and lifestyle so that you have a basic understanding, you can start building some awareness. So most of the time, as I tell people, your results are going to come from the training and the nutrition primarily, okay? But I often talk about other results in mindset and lifestyle, but I digress. Anyway, but a lot of your barriers and obstacles will come from the mindset and the lifestyle, okay? So mindset is really around, I don't even really like the word that much sometimes, but it's really around your values, your attitudes, your beliefs and things. So an example of values that seem good on the surface that can get in the way. Dads in particular are very susceptible to this, and I get it. Single dad, I'm there. I get you, boys. You sacrifice so much for your family that you often feel like you don't have the time, energy, and money to invest in yourself, in getting fit, taking care of yourself. And as cliche as it is, I like to use like the airplane emergency metaphor, right? When the plane's going down, stick with me, we're going somewhere. You would have heard this one before. And the oxygen masks come down, right? What is the instruction? Put your own mask on before assisting children or anyone else. Because if you're unconscious, who the hell are you helping? Right? And I know it sounds awful. In a sense, I'm almost encouraging you in a sense to be more selfish. But the better you are, the better you will show up for everyone and everything else in your life. So if you've been giving, and you're like, no, I can't do this thing to lose the weight, get bigger, get stronger, feel like do stuff for me because I have all these responsibilities. And you probably do. And I'm not saying you can automatically just, I'll just take care of me, because I know it's not that simple. But that's just an example of a value that we sort of need to flip on its head and be like, that value of caring for your family should not come at the exclusion of your fitness and self-care. It should come at the priority of your fitness and your self-care, because you will fulfill that value for your family much better when you are in that state. All right, everyone's good on that? So that's the example of a value. An attitude can be something like, and I've encountered this a lot, the best lesson I've learned with this attitude is when I've worked with people over 50. So I've worked with a number of 50, 60, even 70 plus year olds. And when you're at that age, it's less about looking a certain way. It's more about feeling better quality of life, a more physical competency, as I call it. And these guys will often say to me, I wish I had done this 10, 20, 30 years ago. I wish I could go back and say to old me, you should be getting in the gym. You should be lifting shit. You should be getting bigger. You should be getting stronger, because it's not about the look. It's about so much more. Okay? The attitude that we're challenging there is a lot of people will be like, I'm pretty fit. I can get to it later. I don't need to be building muscle. The vast majority of people don't understand the position they're in when it comes to their health, their fitness, and again, what I call physical competency. The competency for your body to be put under a decent amount of stress, but because you're so conditioned in the gym that you're like, the hardest thing I do physically in life is the gym. Anything else, helping people move house, picking up, tossing the kids around, whatever, the bedroom with the missus, all that shit's easy by comparison to what I do in the gym. And it should be, right? But the attitude of, I don't really need it. You probably do. Beliefs. I can't do this. I've got bad genes. I've got aches and pains that stop me. My mental health prohibits me. All valid to a point. All things I have personally dealt with. You can still train through that and around that. Not always to the degree that you would maybe ideally want, but you can do something. And again, you probably should. So a lot of mindset is just around how do you look at things? And simply just becoming aware of that is what I want to encourage in this video, okay? So if you're sort of coming into this like, oh, I'm stepping my toe in, I'm having a little bit of a go, oh, it looks pretty good, Ryan, but look, I'm pretty time poor, I don't know. Bullshit. It happens, but it's incredibly rare I meet someone, because I go through timetables and stuff with people. I help them manage their time so that we can fit this stuff in. That's another skill that I teach my clients, where I work with them with that. It's incredibly rare I come across someone where it's like, wow, you actually don't have time to train. And then the conversation is usually like, if you are that absolutely smashed, what is the long-term plan for you to have more freedom in order to take care of yourself better? And some people, especially men, have this martyr complex. Like if they're working that hard and they're that hammered and they're that busy, they can't fit it in, that they're like a real almost alpha in their eyes sort of dude. Like, I'm willing to go through the pain and the sacrifice. And it's like, no, you just kind of sound dumb. Like if you're that smashed that you can't take care of yourself, eventually your body will break down and you'll be forced to stop. Like you're not going to have a choice either way. You can either do it yourself now and create the freedom so you can, look after yourself, or your body will eventually break, because it will. I digress. The point of me going through all that is just so you guys understand that developing an awareness of, oh, I didn't realize I was like that, or, oh, I didn't realize I had this value backwards, I had this attitude, I had this belief about myself, about training, about nutrition, about this, about that, and all these things got in the way. There might have to be a lot of deprogramming that has to sort of happen. And that's what I like doing with clients, challenging their beliefs and their thoughts on things. So that's what we mean by mindset, because as you try and make these changes, you will encounter those issues. Now, lifestyle, there can be some overlap, but lifestyle in my mind is like, come back, camera. There we go. Lifestyle in my mind is like, what's your sleep routine like? How's your time management? How's your stress? What are your obligations as far as work, friends, study, family? What are your habits, routines? Yeah, obligations, like I said, sport commitments. What are all the things that sort of take up the time and energy in the week? Because it's another optimization thing. Some of those things you might need to be like, I need to cut some stuff down. I need to change some stuff. My sleep routine sucks. Okay, I'm really getting sapped on energy because I'm so stressed with life that I milk the hours of the evening. I stay up watching stuff, gaming, doing dopamine-seeking pleasurable things late into the night, because I don't really enjoy the rest of my day. But what that causes is now I don't get as much sleep. My mental health, everything is sort of worse. My energy, my emotions, everything's worse now because I'm missing sleep. I perform worse at work. Now all of the things that suck about my life compound. Can you see how many times I've gone through this speech? All the things in my life compound. So what do I want to do? I want to play the games. I want to watch the TV. I want to do all those dopamine, self-destructive things more and more and more and more, because they're the only things that I really enjoy in life. And now we're back to coping patterns, and I've got a resource for you in the sheet for that. Yeah, I've covered all the bases. That's lifestyle. Like, how do you live your week to week, your day to day? And as far as this 5-week program goes, again, it's another, I just want to encourage you to become aware. Because you might try and implement this and go, man, I just don't have the time. You may not. And part of that is potentially just time wasting, and you need to do a bit of a time audit, and you don't realize how much time you're squandering. It's the same thing with calories. A lot of people will be like, oh, I'm eating really well and I'm not losing weight. And then when they come on as a client and we finally go through everything in a lot more detail, we go, dude, you weren't eating properly at all. What the hell are you talking about? We're actually looking at the data now. This. And they're like, oh, shit. One of my best clients this year, as far as numbers and results go, he's a guy who has a diploma in fitness. And he was sitting just over 100 kilos when we started. He's like, dude, I'm tracking my calories. I'm doing all these things properly. And when we finally got into it, I was like, dude, you aren't doing any of this properly. Like, you're halfway there, but the last 50% you're missing is what's screwing you. And once we just tightened up those areas, dialed it in a bit more, he lost like 16 kilos in 3.5 months, which is quite aggressive, but he wanted to kind of go this fast. And now we're doing a slow, gradual bulk. He's like, this is the most results in the last like 6 months. He's like, I've had more results in the last 6 months than I've had in the last few years. I didn't appreciate or even understand how to control for these variables as much. He's like, now that we're finally tracking that stuff, things are happening. Another quick example on that, a client of mine earlier this week, she was saying, I do work with women, she's been learning how to track her calories because she's wanting some weight to come down. She's walking heaps, she's training like between 3 and 5 days a week. She's crushing everything. The one thing that she was sort of missing, and she's new at this, which is fine, is she wasn't weighing and tracking the food that she was logging correctly. And so the numbers we were seeing calories at the end of the day were way off. And once we tightened those things and gave her a few bits of guidance on how to do that properly, this week we've just seen every day the weight's coming down consistently. Ta-da! All that to say, the breakthroughs I had with those clients and the work that I do with a lot of clients starts with awareness. It starts with, oh, I didn't realize I looked at it wrong. I didn't realize that I was doing it wrong. I didn't realize that I was not actually using my time properly, that I'm not time poor, I'm just not spending it correctly, and all these things, okay? We just want you to start with an awareness. So as you try to implement this program, you will encounter resistance. That is actually part of the benefit of the program. It is not a do 3 sessions a week and you'll just do it and everything will kind of go smoothly. Most people, you will encounter resistance from within, mindset, and from without, lifestyle, how you operate, and a lot of that can be your fault. Just how you've sort of set your life up, and part of that can be your obligation, responsibility, and interaction with others, and just you need to be aware of those things. So yeah, I go through this a lot because I don't have a script at all for this video. I didn't need one because I go through this so often with people. I don't think I've really said or I had to think very hard about these. I nearly said right there. Look at that. I haven't had to think very hard about these subjects because I go through them so often with people. It's so very, very common. So yeah, again, for this program, we just want to start with awareness. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, any questions, any feedback, any comments, telling me, dude, you talk way too much. I'm going to play the autism card as a little bit of a defense, but yes, I do. Put that in the Facebook group and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.